Hari Om Atma Jyotis. Welcome to our Gita Gnana Yagna session. Let's begin the class with Guru Vandana. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamoolam Gururmurtihi Pujamoolam Gururpadam Mantramoolam Gururvakyam Mokshamoolam Gurukrupa Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Slowly open your eyes. Okay, so until our last class, we were discussing about the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, which is Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So we covered until quite a bit. Now we'll see the continuation of that. So before continuing, I would like to share the PPT. So one second. Okay. So this is the Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, which is the 4th chapter, which we are discussing now. So the overall theme of Bhagavad Gita is how Krishna teaches Arjuna is the first. Initially, he teaches Arjuna what is Jiva, Jivatma, and then he talks about Ishvara, and then he talks about the how Jiva is identified with Paramatma. How Jiva and Paramatma are one in the same. Jivatma and Paramatma ekatvam. And then so there are two main points which is emphasized all through the Bhagavad Gita in all the 18 chapters from the beginning till end. There are two very main points. These two are Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidya means yoga of knowledge. Yoga Shastra means the application of the knowledge that we have got. Because just I get the knowledge, it's of no use. I need to apply it to realize. So Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. Brahma Vidya is the yoga of knowledge, getting Gnana, Gnana Yoga. Yoga Shastra is Karma Yoga. So Krishna advises both Gnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. And which is also Atmano Mokshartham. Gnana is for the self, for the Atmano Mokshartham. Jagat Hitayacha, which is the selfless service, which is the Karma Yoga part of it. Okay, so it can also be told like the pure science and the applied science, like we discussed in one of the earlier chapters. So now this is the Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, which we are discussing. So Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, first he talks about sannyasi. Who is a sannyasi? What is the rude artha of a sannyasi? And what is the good artha of a sannyasi? What is the real meaning of sannyasi? What is sannyasa? In fact, in according to all this, we understand that it's not the external attire or external appearance or the garments that the clothes that we wear doesn't represent. External appearance basically doesn't represent what a sannyasi is. A person can be sannyasi within, will have to be sannyasi within. It's not only dropping the mamakara, mine, my things, and running away to the forest or the mountains or wearing saffron. It's not only just that. It's also much more than that, which is dropping the ahankara. That is sannyasi. Even in such a case, even a grihastha can be a sannyasi. Krishna himself is a sannyasi and was also a grihastha. And so we also see how I am a sannyasi, and we also saw how Atma is by nature a vairagi. Atma, it's not I need to drop this, I need to drop that, I need to drop attachments. Atma is by nature detached. It is never attached. It's only the correction in the thinking that is needed. So the correction in the thinking that I am detached can happen only through gnana. It cannot happen through any other means. We can keep doing hundreds of other things, but it is not going to, even after doing hundreds of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, kriya yoga, ashtanga yoga, and any other yoga, hatha yoga, and many other yoga, any yoga it could be. Final, that will only take the person, it will, of course, it is needed for the purification, but it is not going to give any knowledge. Only gnana alone is responsible for self-realization, for realizing that I am Brahman. So we also saw how out of the so many thousands of thoughts, if the main focus is about Bhagwan, any Bhagwan, you can consider the name and form of any Bhagwan of your choice. It doesn't matter, but consider taking the name of Bhagwan or keeping the focus, the center of your life as Bhagwan. Everything else, every other thoughts will get sorted out by itself. We saw how it happens in detail earlier. So it's basically sannyasa means samyak nasa, right deposit. Have you deposited your mind in the right place? Because nothing is going to come with you or me when a person dies. Nothing, nobody, no person, nothing, not even a thing will come along with you. It's only if you put right kind of deposit, then that will get you into the in the evolutionary right direction of the evolution. And we also saw how Arjuna was, we put ourselves in the place of Arjuna while we are learning Bhagavad Gita. So how Arjuna was a karmi, was a selfish person, was doing kamya karma for all the selfish reasons, was working towards the world. And then after, from chapter 1, we move on to the second chapter, which is Sankhya Yoga, and then to Karma Yoga, where we learn how in the Sankhya Yoga, the person becomes dharmi, is more giving, more thinking about the world, helping the world, and all that. But there is definitely still the selfishness still remains. Only the person has evolved into a dharmi. Karmi has evolved into a dharmi. And then, okay, 1 second, let me stop. I don't know if somebody is waiting in the lobby. No, nobody, right? Okay. I don't know if it comes up or not. Okay. So, and then the person, from Dharmi, we learnt after Sankhya, after Gnana Yoga, we learnt Karma Yoga, where the Dharmi becomes Karma Yogi. What does the Karma Yogi does? Now the Dharmi was doing all the um, charity and that kind of things in the world, but it was not selfless yet. Now, while he or she becomes Karma Yogi, he or she becomes, whatever the action the person does, becomes selfless. So such a selfless action is called Karma Yogi. But still, there's something called doership. Doership is still present with the person. That's why the person still remains a Karma Yogi, but is doing selfless action. So the fourth stage, the final stage, is the Gnani. Now in the Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, we realize, okay, I've been doing the Karma Yoga selflessly, but that I am doing is still present. So dropping that I, how? Dropping the ahankara, ego. That is the that is love that we are learning in the Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. How desireless action is present, is done. From Kamya Karma, we move on to something called Nishkamya Karma. A person becomes Naishkarmi. Without any desire, the person acts in the world. So the fourth chapter, it is divided into 5 divisions. One is the tradition of teaching of wisdom. So now Arjuna is doubtful. How is Krishna? I just got confused whether I should fight in the war or not. I wanted to run away, but Krishna is talking all this. Atma Gnana he's talking about Gnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. What is all this? Where is he all bringing all these topics from? I just asked for clarity. But he is going very deep. He is doing a surgery on Arjuna. He is doing a deep penetration to change how Arjuna is thinking, right? So uh, the attitude of thoughts. So now Krishna, that's why he backs up with the information that he is giving to Arjuna. He says that don't think, Arjuna, I am just randomly talking about all this like a pep talk that people give in the corporates and all that. This is not anything just a motivational talk or anything like that. This it has always been present in the parampara, in the Guru parampara, long ago, billions of years ago, but it was lost somewhere in between. But we are again I'm again teaching you the same thing because it was lost. So where is it coming from? We saw how it comes from, where Krishna says, I taught Vivaswan, Vivaswan Manave Praha. So from Vivaswan, from sun, Vivaswan is the sun god. From sun, it was passed on to Manu. Manu is considered one of the king who was in the origin of human beings. And from Manu, it was passed on to many other rishis, Ikshvaku, and many other Raja rishis. And finally, now I am teaching you. And all those doubts, Arjuna, that he gets, it's all clarified. And Krishna, and we learned how we see it in the Adi Bhautika perspective, the shloka, and then Adi Daivika and Adhyatmika perspective. In the Adhyatmika perspective, the Atma is reflected in the mind, which is the Atma is reflected in the Chidabhasa, which is the Vivasvan, the Atma Jyoti, which is the sun. And from that, it is reflected in the mind, which is the Manu or the Manas. And from there, it comes to the Agna Chakra, which is the Ikshvaku, which is eyes. And from there, it goes to the sense organs. All other Raja Rishis are the sense organs which we have, and with the help of this, one is able to get Atmagnana. And okay, and the second part is the we saw how what is an avatara and what is the difference between avatara, Gnani or the Siddha Purusha, and the normal human beings like us, like Arjuna. We can see the third category. We can take Arjuna. And how a normal person is born out of karma, is born out of vasanas, previous karma. It includes both the vyashti karma and the samashti karma. Both should coincide. Only the person, Jivatma, will be able to take the birth. And it's only the momentum is due to the vasana, wherever the Jivatma is born. But whereas how Paramatma, birth of the Paramatma or an avatar happens is because of so many rishis and so many Siddha Purushas, Gnani, so many people have done all lots of dharma karya. And when there is chaos in the world or the universe, uh, when there is chaos in the universe, a normal person will not be able to handle too much. Say, if there is some war that is happening, and that war needs to be, somebody needs to fight the war. So there will be a Jivatma who is wishing to be born as a warrior or a soldier, and there is a war that is predicted to happen. Okay, the Jivatma will be born due to the previous karma and the previous momentum or the vasanas, will be born as a warrior in a warrior family or in such surroundings, and will be trained as a warrior and will go and fight the war, no doubt. But will he alone be able to clear all the? He'll be able to fight the war with the weapons that he is given, with the ability that capability that he has. But he will not be able to solve many other dharmic issues or so many other adharmic activities that has been happening around, um, which were the reasons for the war to begin, right? So that a person alone will not be able to do. So if there is a universal chaos, if it's a very big disturbance or destruction that is happening, that is going to happen, or that is happening in the world, then Paramatma will come down as an avatar. How Paramatma's birth happens? Because there is no previous karma or past karma. So, but how does Paramatma's Avatar's birth happens is because of the all the dharmic activities of so many rishis. They all praise God and ask God. We need rain. We need all this. We need samriddhi. All the good things to happen in the world. They do lots of homa. It's not only homa or yajna. It could be any other dharmic activities, helping or um, supporting the evolution, or it could be any good activities basically. Because of all this collectively, it will pull the God Bhagwan down to be born as an avatara. So avatara is because of the totality that is born. And so that is the incarnation of Avatara. And now he also goes on to say, now we saw the difference in birth. Now we will also see what Krishna has got to say in the 4.10. One second. Huh. So he says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjana. So what he says is, Arjuna, don't worry about your birth. Now, he explained both. How you are born, Arjuna, how I am born. What is the difference between? We both are born, Arjuna. You are also born, and you are born because of the previous vasanas, but previous karma, but I am born because of all this. You are not able to know the past, but I am able to see all the previous incarnations of mine, previous, works of mine, okay, previous presence of mine. So he says, now don't worry about your janmas. You learn, okay, you are aware of that, how you were born. Just be aware, but don't go and, keep digging your past. Okay, Krishna is very clear about this. Don't dig your past. Instead, know mine, know my life, know how I was born, know how I live my life. If you do that, then you will automatically be purified. So how is because or why is because Atma is Paramatma. If say if there was a person who was just to give an instance, real life instance, there was this lady who was very much troubled with her spouse, and she was very worried about their relationship and all that. So she went into a past life regression therapy, and she went through the process and all that because she wanted to resolve the conflict between herself and her husband, so that she wanted the relationship to be smoother and all that in future. She was wishing good only. So she went through this past life regression therapy, and after that she only invited more and more problems, because in the past life she saw that her husband was her own father. So it became even more complicated now. She wanted to solve one relationship. Now she got to know that with the same person she's having two different relationships, and those two are entirely different. In one life the person is husband, in the other life the person is father. So how is she going to solve it? So what Krishna is telling is, don't dig your past. Don't worry about your past, your janma. Don't worry about it. You are aware. Just be aware that you were born. Even I was born. You know, we both are born this way. You are born because of vasana. Just be aware of it. But to come out of it, to purify yourself, don't worry about yours. think about mine. Um, Learn about mine. Learn about my avatara, my birth, how my, because Atma, Jivatma is nothing but Paramatma. If that, if you start understanding my mind, my life, how I live, then you will also realize Paramatma. And then he goes on to say, so what he says is, in the next shloka, 4.10, he says that by knowing me and my life, what will happen now? By knowing Krishna, he will see how selflessly Krishna is working. Krishna is not doing anything for selfish reasons. Krishna is always doing everything for the Jagat Hitayacha. He's not doing even one thing for his own reason. Everything that he does is for the Jagat Hitayacha. The more and more we learn about Bhagwan or Guru, we will see how selflessly such a person lives. So by knowing the lifestyle, or the life history of a person who's a Gnani, who's a Guru, or Bhagwan, or Avatara, with that we inculcate the same qualities which Bhagwan has got. With that, one will be freed from all the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, because the Bhagwan himself doesn't have any of those, you know, bad qualities. Because of that, you will also be purified, Arjuna, and then you will attain me. That's what he says. And so he also now goes on to say, whatever a person asks, this is very important. Whatever Krishna says is, I will just stop sharing. So we are in the second part of it, incarnation, where Krishna goes on to explain incarnation of Avtara. And oh, what happened? Okay. So now Krishna says, uh, in whatever form you worship me, I appear to you in that way. Say, uh, somebody worships, uh, you know, Lakshmi or money. Somebody wants money. Somebody wants money. Okay, that is what they are worshipping. Somebody is worshipping Lakshmi. So Bhagwan gives them more Lakshmi, more money, more prosperity. So we might have seen, right? In many houses, they have pictures or idols of Lakshmi, and they do Lakshmi Puja every day. That means they are wanting money. That is what they are asking. So Bhagwan, any form, Bhagwan is in many forms. So Bhagwan is in the form of Lakshmi or Saraswati, or in all different forms. In whatever form you worship Krishna, Arjuna, I appear to you in that form. There is no form that I'm not in. That we will learn later in the 10th chapter. But for now, Bhagwan says, whatever form you worship, I appear to you in that form. So some people can say, oh, there are atheists. What all these atheists do? They don't worship anyone. So what will they attain? So for such people, what will happen? Even atheists, Krishna says, even atheists are worshippers only. What are they worshipping? They are worshipping money, power, position, fame and name in the world, or all the desires, all the lust, or whatever, money and all that. They are lavishness. They are worshipping all that. So in such a case, they will get that, because Bhagwan is in that form as well. They will get that, but they will be trapped. They will be trapped in Maya Shakti. That is called Maya Shakti. So there are two types of Shakti. One is the Maya Shakti, the other is the Chaitanya Shakti. So Maya Shakti is somebody who is way too much into the world. I want this, I want that, too much of desire to get everything for selfish reasons. So it's okay. I will give them that. So what will happen to such people? They will be trapped within that circle itself. They will not be, it's difficult for them to come out. So what happens for a long period of time? Such people will be engrossed in the world, enjoying the pleasures in the world, no doubt, because they have asked for it. I will give them that. Bhagwan will never say no to anyone. It's the same rule. Bhagwan applies the same rule for everybody in the universe. There is no change of rules. For everybody is Bhagwan's children. So it's not, Bhagwan is not going to discriminate between this person and that person. He says tatastu for everyone. Whatever I go and ask for money, Bhagwan will say tatastu. I go and ask for something else, Bhagwan will say tatastu. I go and ask for Bhagwan give me gnana. For that also, Bhagwan will say tatastu. Whatever I ask, that I will get. So somebody asks, like I said, some people want to be a slave of the world. They remain the slave of the world. So for a very long period of time, if the person remains the slave of the world, and then he realizes they'll be trapped within this all this sorrow, unhappiness, all the misery in the world, all the materialistic world. So after a very long period of time, they realize, oh no, uh, there is God here. I need to do puja to God to get something. They realize that they are not able to do everything, but I should ask something for Bhagwan. Now they go and ask now when they go and ask, so to the Maya Shakti, considering, oh, please give me something, give me this. So then um, they ask for this kind of three different Shaktis, it's called. One is Icha Shakti, the other is Gnana Shakti, other is Kriya Shakti. Icha Shakti is Lakshmi, desire, okay? The other one is Gnana Shakti, which is the Saraswati. The other is Kriya Shakti, which is Durga. So now Icha Shakti, people ask for, I want a child, I want money, I want house, all kinds of Lakshmi. This, Ashta Lakshmi. So people ask for the Devi, please give me this. So there's a little evolution from atheism to they are able to do puja to Devi, and they are able to get some benefits out of doing puja. This is like an evolution of the Jivatma. And after getting all these, enjoying all this kind of thing, slowly they start such a person will start doing all dharma karya as well. While doing dharma karya, the person acquires certain abilities which is suitable for spiritual evolution, and that is called Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, and Samadhana. We will explain all this in the next chapter, so don't worry about the words if you are hearing it for the first time. So it is the six Shat Sampatti, it is called. Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, and Samadhana. It's called Shat Sampatti, which is six Sampatti, six treasures to acquire, to evolve spiritually. If a person has all these six qualities, then such a person will be qualified to be a spiritual seeker. Okay, there is it's in the evolutionary cycle, and such a person will be will is able to become a mumukshu, which is who is yearning for a Bhagwan, who wants to see Bhagwan or know Bhagwan, basically. So such a person will be given, will be produced, or will be identified by a Sadguru. So Sadguru will come and give knowledge, give gnana to such a person to attain mukti. Now, so, uh, sorry. Now, so now we saw that the person now so Krishna says, whatever you ask, I will give. So how whatever atheists ask, I give them that also. And from there is a little bit of evolution where people ask for materialistic things in the world, but they do pray for Bhagwan. They understand that there is a bigger force, or the bigger Shakti, which is bigger than mine. So I am asking for certain things in the world. But what happens in such a case? Say if somebody who does puja every day and is asking for money, what does that person do? What kind of attitude is that person what kind of attitude is that person asking? Can you all say? Bhuvanaji, Raviji, Malatiji. With what kind of attitude is the person asking?
With a sense of need, maybe.
With a sense of need. Who has the sense of need? So such a person has a beggar consciousness. He goes to God and says, "Oh God, I have nothing, please give me. I have nothing, please give me." So, yes, please give me. There are two parts in the sentence. I don't have anything, please give me. Please give me is okay. But I have nothing is, reiterated in the mind. Okay, I have nothing, I have nothing. So what happens to the mind? It goes into beggar consciousness. The more and more the person says, I have nothing, I have nothing, the person goes down. Okay. So it's only uh, telling that I don't have anything. Instead, it should be, thank you for what you have given me. The change in attitude of the thinking should be, thank you for whatever is present. Okay. It should be, the gratitude should be shown. So Bhagwan will never say no to anything. If I say, I have nothing, please give me, Bhagwan will say, Tatastu. Oh, you have nothing, take it. Again, the same thing. I have nothing, give me, I have. How much will you keep getting? It will only go less and less and less and less, and it will retard. So instead, also there is one more point here. What I'm telling, oh Bhagwan, you are in Vaikunta, you are somewhere, I am here. So what are we creating by doing that? Oh Bhagwan, you are somewhere, I am here. I'm creating a distance between me and Bhagwan. Oh, you are somewhere higher up there, I am somewhere down here. So there is already a very big Dvaita created here, right? The difference created here. So how will you realize Bhagwan? How will you realize knowledge? How the Gnana will be acquired? If Bhagwan is somewhere and you are here, then acquiring knowledge will be very far away. Okay? Bhagwan is within me and he is also within others as well. The change in attitude, the change in thinking, the change in the way person talks itself brings a very big shift and transformation as well. This is what Krishna says. So, and uh, so everybody, what the evolution that we are talking about is, so everybody, what Krishna says is, even an atheist is also worshipping Bhagwan. What is Bhagwan? Bhagwan is the supreme consciousness. So this supreme consciousness is present in everything. It's present in the wall as well. It's present in this chair as well. It's present in laptop. It's present in me. It's present in the plants. It's present everywhere. So what Krishna is telling is, everybody is a worshipper. Just that the level of worship is different. The consciousness, supreme consciousness, for our discussion's sake, I will just use the word consciousness, which is Bhagwan. So the consciousness is present in everything in different levels. Okay. So some people are worshipping that in certain level. Some people are worshipping the Maya Shakti. Some people are worshipping the Chaitanya Shakti. So it's only in the level that you are worshipping. Everybody is worshipping. In whatever level you are worshipping, you will be given that. So if somebody worships Gnana, somebody wants Gnana, uh, if somebody says, okay, I've seen this world, money is temporary. How much ever money is given, it's going to be temporary. I cannot take that when I die. It will not come with me. Position, power, name, fame, everything, even the relationships, even the people around me, friends, family, children, anything that is associated, everything, nothing is going to be taken with me. So only thing permanent is Bhagwan. Bhagwan himself is permanent. So I want you, Bhagwan. I want to know you, Bhagwan. If somebody is asking for this, then Bhagwan says Tatastu for that as well. And he says, okay, you will be given Gnana. And this should be very deep seeking. Okay, it's not on surface level. Today I will think that, oh, I am suffering, let me ask for Gnana. Next day, now I'm enjoying, I'm watching movie, I'm having fun. Forget Gnana, I don't want God anymore. Today I'm enjoying. No, that will not happen. So this should be a deep inner seeking that should happen. It should be deep. It should be really deep calling for God. One would have understood the um, changing nature of the world. Okay. world, the nature, the world, it changes. Its nature itself is changing. It never remains constant. Everything keeps changing. If somebody has deeply understood the changing nature of the external world, then such a person, say, for example, this wall. Uh, just for this example, okay, not wall. I will take this mobile. Say for example, I'm loving this mobile. I'm crazy about my mobile. Okay, but I'm not able to understand the fact that this mobile's nature is it can change. I'm not able to understand the fact that this is a temporary thing. If just for this example, take mobile, but people are um, uh, get attached to so many things in the world, right? Which are temporary, which are changing in nature. But they don't realize with knowledge that it is the changing nature of that relationship or that person or that material, that thing, that matter. So such people's thoughts cannot think about Bhagwan because only thing that is constant, which is not changing, is Bhagwan. So, if I am so very attached to the mobile, I will never be able to want Bhagwan because I am happy with this mobile. Tomorrow, when the mobile breaks or something happens, then I'll be sad that my mobile is broken, and all that. I don't realize the fact that the mobile's nature itself was changing. It could break anytime. It could change anytime. So I I should not get attached to something that is temporary, something that is changing in nature. In such a case, uh, my heart will also break. My heart will also, I will also get upset and all that. Instead, if I hold on to something which is not changing at all, and if I start loving something, if I start asking for something that doesn't change, then that is something uh, I will never be disappointed with. I will never be, it's not going to go away from me. So in that only thing is Bhagwan. So, what Krishna says is, so if somebody asks for gnana, which is not changing, which is never diminishing, okay? Now there are two levels of gnana. One is with avidya, other one is vidya gnana. So we should ask for Brahma gnana, which is the vidya part of it, not the external gnana about the world. So the divine will bless for gnana, and such a person will get a guru. So just to say what Bhagwan, how Bhagwan gives everything to the people is, say a mother has a child. If a child asks for something, say I want a little bicycle or something, a scooter or the toy. And the mother will go and get, okay, my child is asking for this, some little scooter or something. Let me give this. She will go and buy and give it to her child. But she will not give car. Okay. Whatever the child asks, that is what the mother will give. In the same way, whatever you ask, that is what Bhagwan will give. So if someone who has realized the changing nature of the material world, the external world, then such a person will not ask anything externally. Such a person will only ask Gnana. So when the person asks Gnana, Bhagwan will say Tatastu, and Bhagwan will, and such a person, due to grace, will receive Gnana. And this Gnana can be given by only by a realized master. It cannot be given by anyone else. It's not possible at all. Say somebody, so even to get Brahma Gnana, sorry, even to talk about Brahma Gnana, a person should have two qualifications. One is the person himself should be Brahmanishta. Person should be a realized master who is realized in Brahman, who knows Brahman. The other one is, other qualification is he should be able to teach, express it to the world, which is Strotriya. Say somebody who is not a Brahmanishta, the first qualification. If the person is not Brahmanishta and but is able to teach, but is able to explain, give examples, give stories, all that, and able to relate facts, and is able to teach, then such a person can be called as Acharya. We have heard about the word Acharya, right? In our life, in many matas and in many other places, there are acharyas. So most of the acharyas, we can say most of the acharyas are stotriyas. They are able to learn knowledge and give the knowledge to the people, but they need not be Brahmanishta. Brahmanishta, if a person is both Brahmanishta and Stotriya, then such a person will be able to give knowledge about Brahman. Say for example, if you want to have anyone of you, I'm just taking Japan as an example. Has any of you gone to Japan? Nobody? Anybody can come up and answer? So I will have a couple more questions after this. Malti ji, Ravi ji, Bhuvana ji. Anyone? Anyone can unmute yourself and talk. Malti ji.
No, I did not go to Japan.
You did not go to Japan, Malti ji. So if you tomorrow you want to go to Japan, what will you do? You want to see, you want to go to Japan, you want to know more about Japan before going there. Okay. Whom will you ask? Now there are two people. So there is one neighbor of yours, the neighbor A, we can say. Neighbor A, he has gone to Japan and come back. He's gone to Japan basically. Now there is another neighbor B, who has read hundreds of books about Japan. So the neighbor A has never read a book about Japan, but he has gone to Japan. The neighbor B, he has read hundreds of books about Japan, but he has never been to Japan. Whom will you ask?
I'll ask neighbor A because he has practical knowledge.
So he has been there, right? So in the same way, so a Stotriya might have read hundreds and hundreds of books about Bhagwan. Oh, Bhagwan is like this, Bhagwan is like that. He might be a pope. He could talk verses in Sanskrit, or he could be very eloquent in its speeches, or he could beautifully teach someone. But such a person, if he is not a Brahmanishta, he or she is not a Brahmanishta, then uh, how much knowledge will you be able to get about Brahman, right? So in the same way, someone should be both Brahmanishta and Stotriya. Such a person will be able to give the exact path or the way for you to know about Brahman. Will be able to give Brahma Gnana. That's called Brahma Gnana. Okay, so huh. Okay, so but Bhagwan, Krishna also says, I am not born. It's the body and mind and the body that you are seeing, Arjuna, the form that you are seeing is only an appearance of Ishvara. It is not, I'm not born. Bhagwan cannot be born. Okay, Bhagwan is appearing in a certain name and form for the benefit of the world. It cannot be, it's not, it's only an appearance of Ishvara, he says. Uh, if a person keeps telling, I want to drop the mind, I want to drop the ego, I want to drop the attachment and all this. If see, the Maya Shakti, the Maya that we are talking about, which is the world, the appearance, the perception that we see, is under the control of Bhagwan. Okay. When something is under the control of Bhagwan, can you do anything in it? It's not possible. Okay. You cannot do anything because it is under the control of Bhagwan. For that, you need to transcend the mind. You can't do anything. You can't fit Bhagwan within the mind. Mind can never grasp it. It's impossible. In any scriptures, if you have read or if you have listened to any upanyasas or anything which people speak, they say Brahman is, Paramatma is Ananta, is, infinite and all that. Why do they say infinite? Is because it is impossible to fit in the framework of mind. Mind can never grasp it. It's impossible. It's simply impossible. And that is one more reason which Krishna is also telling is, other than this reason, the one more reason which what Krishna is telling is, the whole of this Maya is under my control. So you cannot realize it. You cannot do anything within the mind, framework of mind. You need to transcend the mind to know Bhagwan. So to transcend the mind is what we are trying to, which is basically come out of Maya. To transcend the mind means you should come out of the Maya to know Bhagwan, to get Brahmagnana. So how do we do that? Ask, who am I? Who is this for? Who is this class for? Who is this talking? Who is this doing? Ask deeply. Okay, the seeking should be so deep that you're craving to ask for it. You're craving to know that. That craving should be very deep. And so how Krishna also says, like how he said, you follow my path by knowing my janmas. By knowing my janma, you will be able to know. Why? Because Krishna did not talk karma yoga. He lived karma yoga. Whenever Krishna is telling do karma yoga Arjuna, do karma yoga Arjuna, Krishna is not telling do karma yoga Arjuna. Of course he is telling, but he is living karma yoga. He is living a selfless life. So by seeing Krishna's life, we understand that by seeing that, I start following that. Rama, he did not speak dharma. Rama lived dharma. Rama means it's equivalent to dharma. So Rama lived a life of dharma. By knowing Rama's life, what will happen to me is I will also start living a dharmic life. By knowing Krishna's life, I will also start doing karma yoga. By doing that, I will purify myself. By purifying myself, I will be able to realize Brahman, why we see in the next section, or how we see in the next section. So, say, if a person can say that Krishna, Bhagwan, is Bhagwan does Bhagwan take birth only to kill people? No, not necessarily. Bhagwan is for everyone. Like for example, Krishna's avatara happened not only to kill Kamsa or all this Duryodhana or Kauravas. Krishna's avatara happened for many other reasons. It's not, of course, the Dharma Samstapana part is one thing. There was many other things that is hidden is Krishna's avatara happened for the Gopikas as well. If the Krishna avatar, even the Gopika, was wanting to see Krishna. Okay, Bhagwan. So Krishna's avatara happened for Bhishmacharya's moksha as well, for everyone basically. So if an avatara happens, it's in the samashti level. It's for everyone. It's for the benefit of the world. It's not only killing the bad people. Nothing will happen to the good people. Nothing like that. For everyone, it is beneficial. And so when we say, when we keep telling Paramatma, Paramatma here, now we should understand that there are two types here which we are talking about. We can't say types. One is attributeless, one is with attributes. Okay, so we need to understand this. One is Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. The Brahman itself, we can't say himself or herself. Brahman is without gender. Okay, so the Brahman itself, that's why it's a Tat. Tat means that. There is no gender associated to that word. Tat, that. Okay. That is Brahman in that way. So Brahman itself is, so we can say it in two different types. One is Nirguna Nirakara Brahman, which is there is no attributes, nothing. Okay. The other one is Sadguna Sakara Brahman, which is full of attributes, full of it's expressed itself in the external world, basically. Okay. So the Nirguna Nirakara Brahman, it's impossible to talk about. Okay, it's impossible to think about, talk about, connect. We can't connect to Nirguna Nirakar Brahman. It's not possible. So Narayana, he's sleeping. Like how is Narayana supposed shown? Narayana is always sleeping. Okay, Nirgun Nirakar Brahman is not aware of the fact that you and me are sitting here. Brahman doesn't know that we are here. So in such a case, Brahman cannot take care of us. God means he should protect everyone, right? That means God should know about everyone. But the Nirgun Nirakar Brahman who is sleeping, is impossible for Narayana to know that I'm here or you are here. Then how will he take care of us? It's not possible. Okay, and we cannot connect as well. So what we are talking about is Sadguna Sakara Brahman, which is Vishnu we call. Okay, that is the Ishvara. We also say Ishvara, no? This is all the Virat Rupa of Ishvara. So this is the Ishvara that we see. So all this, with this Brahman, we are able to get connected to. Yes, Raviji?
One question regarding Ishvara. Isn't Ishvara associated with the Lord Shiva?
So Shiva is Nirguna Nirakar, which we cannot, it's not something, no attributes like that. Ishvara is the Shakti part of it. Ishvara is the one that we are able to see, which is the world. Ishvara is the world. Ishvara is the projection.
So Vishnu is the form, that is Sadguna. Sorry, what was?
Sadguna Sakar. Yes, the form. Yeah, the one with form.
Yeah,
Which we are able to see.
And Shiva is the one without the form.
Shiva is the one without the form.
But we also give a form to Shiva, right? With all the jata and the.
That is with form. That is with form, which is the Ishvara.
Oh, I'm now confused because Ishvara is without the form.
No.
Right?
Ishvara is with form, which is Sadguna, which has attributes.
And without form is?
Without form is, we can say Shiva or Narayana.
But what's the difference now? So between Ishvara and between Shiva and Narayana.
So it's all the same God. There's no difference like that. One is, everything is called as Brahman. It is only one Brahman.
Okay.
Some people follow one track, which is, they say, for example, the Guru Parampara. Their Guru Parampara would have followed the, they say Narayana Samarambhat, Shankaracharya Madhyamat, Asmadacharya Paryantam. They follow one track. The other people follow the Sadashiva Samarambhat, Shankaracharya. So the other people follow the other track. It is the same Brahman, which is Nirguna Nirakar. We can also call Shiva or Narayana. It is the same.
Okay.
It is just expressed in different form for us to connect to Bhagwan.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
If you have any doubt regarding this, I can ask Guruji and come back and tell.
Okay, sure.
So Ishvara is the one which is with form. Okay, whatever we see is Ishvara. Whatever we see is Ishvara. It is the, this is the
Supreme consciousness.
Supreme, everything is supreme consciousness. Even Shiva is supreme consciousness. Even Ishvara is supreme consciousness. But Ishvara is the expression, is the things that we see, that we perceive
Okay.
in the world.
So it can be called Ishvara, it can be called Narayana, it can be called Supreme Consciousness, anything. It's all the same.
So there is a correction here. So Ishvara is the world.
Okay.
Narayana is the Parabrahman, which is the Nirguna Nirakar. There's no attributes like that.
Isn't the world also Nirguna Nirakara, because you don't have a form, right? So
No, there is form. No, the world is round and all that. There is form. We are able to see what is meant by form. I'm able to perceive through my senses. Even if I didn't have eyes, I could feel it. I could smell.
okay, so I thought form means a human body. So
Oh no. Okay. No. We are not talking about human body at all here.
okay.
It is the world. Say for example, okay, easiest example that I can give is Nirguna Nirakar Brahman, we can say water. Okay, it's just plain water. Ocean is Ishvara. Parabrahman is water. Ocean is Ishvara, which is the world. And little waves is you and me.
Okay.
Where is the waves? Waves are in the ocean, which is the world, which is Ishvara. What is ocean? Ocean is made up of water only, which is Parabrahman. Did it make sense? But is that only ocean is water present only in the form of that ocean? There can be other ocean as well, like that.
Yeah, maybe I need to understand more about it. So
No. If you ask, I will be able to see. I say maybe.
So please explain Parabrahman and the how do you say the Parabrahman, the Ishvara, the Shiva, and me. So 4 aspects. How in
Okay.
chronology, which is the highest to the least?
Okay. So everything is same. First thing, there's no high, low, or anything like that. First thing, everything is same. Parabrahman is Shiva. Same Parabrahman, when expressed, when comes into a form, the creation happens. That creation is called Ishvara.
Okay.
And that creation has happened because Parabrahman had one desire, one thought, only one thought, one desirous thought that I want, okay, I desire. That one thought gave rise to Purusha and Prakriti. And because of that Purusha and Prakriti, the creation happened. The Mahat came and the Ishvara came and all the Jivatmas came, all the creation happened. That whole creation put together is called Ishvara.
Okay.
Which is form. You're able to see the world. You can see the sky, the water, the oceans, the planets. All this creation is Ishvara.
Okay.
And in that Ishvara, there are Jivatmas. You, me, even the plants, the animals, the inanimate things, everything.
Okay.
And one more thing. So in the entire creation, the presence of Ishvara is same. The presence of Paramatma, the level of presence of Paramatma is same in all entire creation. Nowhere it is less or more, nothing like that. Everywhere it is the same. The presence is same. There is no where in the place that the presence will be less. Nothing like that. It's like, for example, in the sun. In front of the sun, you have put a little jar, big jar, very big jar. Everything will have equal presence of the sun. There is no change in the presence of sun for any of those jars. But the manifestation of Bhagwan will be in different levels. For example, say there are 4 bulbs. One is 10 watt, one is 20 watt, 30 watt, and 40 watt. The electricity is same for everything. The presence of electricity is same for all the bulbs. Whereas one bulb will glow very little because its manifestation power is very less. In plants, Bhagwan is equally present as much as it is present in me. But the manifestation power in plant is very less.
Okay.
But the manifestation power, the Shakti manifestation is more in a human being.
Okay.
The presence is same. The same amount of God is present in plant, animal, a dog, cat, and me, and or any other human being. But the manifestation is different.
Okay.
Does this clear your doubt?
Yes.
Or any other doubt regarding this, if you have, you can ask me. If at all I don't know, I will come back. I can answer in the WhatsApp later on. I will ask and come back maybe.
Yeah, at the moment, I don't have any doubts.
Okay, thank you. So the Nirgun Nirakar is the water. It is not in any form, no attribute, nothing. But if you whatever shape you put water into, you put it in a jar, it will take a shape of the jar. If you put it in something else, in the ocean, it will take the shape of the ocean. The ocean you can take it as a creation. That is the Ishvara. And the Ishvara, the Nirgun Nirakar, we can name it as Sadashiva. Instead of Shiva, probably Sadashiva. I will confirm that later on. And the ocean, which is the creation, is called Ishvara. And so the little Jivatmas, we can consider it as waves that appears and disappears, appears and goes off, appears and goes off. So from, I will share the PPT next. So from the incarnation of Avatara, we move on to next part. Only 1 second. Action and inaction of wise one from 4.16 to. So we will just quickly go through this. So this we saw last week. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Janma karmasha we saw. Reason for Avatara. To protect the righteous. To kill the wicked people. So akarta abhokta. So this is where Krishna says, my birth is only, it is only Maya. It's only the perception. It's only appearance of mine. But Bhagwan himself is birthless or deathless. So Maya is under the control of the Lord. So because due to that, it's not possible for you to realize anything within the Maya. One needs to transcend the Maya to know Bhagwan. The only difference between you and me, Arjuna, he says, the main difference is I am able to remember all my previous births, whereas you are not able to remember. So don't worry about your previous life. Basically, Arjuna says, don't worry about, Krishna says, Arjuna, don't worry about any of your previous life. Say, what if somebody was born as a dog? Or what if somebody was born as a cat? What's the point? Oh, let me go to my previous life. I was born as a dog or cat. How does it help you? It is not going to help you, Arjuna, in any way. Instead, if you remember about my births, you will get purified. So the third one is action and inaction of wise one. So over here, Krishna says, Agnani sees inaction even in the case of action. For example, say this wheel. Okay, this wheel, it is turning, right? Gnani remains like the axle that is in the center. The axle doesn't run. It doesn't matter whether at some point the wheel will stop running. Only when the wheel is will the wheel be running all the time? No. There will be times when wheel will stop running as well. Whether the wheel is running or the wheel is not running, it doesn't matter. Axle remains like this only. Axle doesn't move. So that is the inaction. Even if the world is operating, whether the world is operating or whether the world is not operating, nothing matters. The Gnani, Bhagwan, him remains like a Sakshi. Bhagwan remains just like an observer. So we can also say for example, a bulb is connected to a bulb, or the fan or any other electrical equipment is connected. Electricity is just present. It is not bothered whether uh, there is a bulb that is glowing or fan that is blowing air or something like that. It's only now there are two things here. One is, if electricity is only present and there is no fan present, then there's no point in electricity. There is no use in electricity. There needs to be a functioning object, or the body, mind, and intellect. Basically, when we say fan here, it's the body, mind, and intellect. Okay. If there is just consciousness and there is no matter, then there is no use. There should be both. Both should run parallelly. The consciousness, which is the Paramatma, which is the Sadashiva, which is the Narayana. The other one is the Ishvara, or the Vishnu, or the Virat Rupa, the matter, the material energy, which is the Shakti. Okay, that is also should be there. This is also should be there. This should also be there. If there is only electricity, there is no use. Okay, only when there is a fan, the electricity can be expressed. To express Brahman, creation happens. Okay, if that answers your question, Raviji. The creation happens because Brahman wanted to express. Because there was one thought of I, that I thought came up and the creation happened.
Yeah.
Huh. So, and now the fan, what is happening with us then? Okay, there is Paramatma, which is the supreme consciousness. There is a Jivatma, the expression, the creation, we can call anything. There is a Jivatma in this creation. Okay, say for example, fan. Electricity is given, fan is blowing the air. Now, the fan cannot come and tell that I blew the air. Is fan alone responsible for blowing the air? No, without electricity, fan couldn't even work. What the ego is doing is, when we say ego, what the ahankara it does it, now the BMI, I am able to function, I am doing it. It comes and tells, I am doing it. It claims the fact that, is proud of the fact that I am able to talk, I am able to walk, I am doing this job. Okay, I did this, I did the painting, I sang, I danced, or I drove, I am working, I am helping, or this I comes. It's as though the fan comes and tells that I blow the air, I blew the air. That is the ego's job. There is nothing called ego in the entire thing. There is nothing called ego. It is only a shadow. Ego is like a shadow. Shadow doesn't exist. Okay, you cannot kill the shadow also. It's not possible to kill the ego. You cannot kill that or ego also. It should be dropped automatically. As the purification happens, when a person realizes there was no ego, that is when the realization happens. There was no ego in first place. It's only after the job, the ego comes and tells that I did it. It's like, for example, you switch on the switch and the fan blows air. After blowing the air, the fan comes and tells that I blew the air. No, that's not possible. Without electricity, you couldn't do anything. Without consciousness, in a dead body, whatever we do, nothing can happen with the dead body. There's no consciousness. The manifestation part is gone. Of course, it is in other form. Panchabhuta, it will go into Panchabhuta form. Even that is Bhagwan as well in another form, but the manifestation is gone because there is no consciousness. Because the manifestation now it has become inanimate, right? So nobody should. If someone comes and claims that I did, that is where the ego comes. Actually, I did not do anything. Nothing happened because of me. Everything is happening because of Bhagwan. Everything is happening because of the consciousness within. That we should understand. It's like, for example, there's a music concert that is going on. Say some music concert that is going on. If you all like music, we can take that example, or whatever you like, you can take that example. For now, we'll take musical concert. It is my favorite singer who is singing in the concert, and I booked the tickets. Oh, it's a very expensive tickets. It's not so easy to get as well because it's going to be houseful very soon. With so much difficulty, finally I get the tickets, and I managed to go to the concert as well. Now this is such a beautiful music. My favorite singer, could be singing, and I'm in the audience. I'm listening to the singer. What happens is when the singer is singing, I get so involved in the music that I forget myself. After 4 hours, I see time is gone. Okay, both the time and place, it's disappeared when the music is heard. So what happens in this case is everything has become Advaita. I have become one with the music, the musician, the music, everything has become one. Okay. I have become one with the music and the musician. It's all become one. When everything becomes one, the time and space disappears. There's no time. Just in couple of hours, and then see, oh, 2 hours over. I didn't even realize. Whereas I sit somewhere, some seminar or some webinar, such a boring topic, I will be keep on waiting. When will the webinar finish? Because I'm getting bored, and the time doesn't move at all because I'm not liking. When I'm in conflict with something, I'm not liking it. The time expands because every time my ego keeps on telling that I'm not liking this, I'm not liking this, I'm not liking, and there's a dvaita that is created. Whereas if I'm liking that music, this I'm liking that, and I forgot the concept that I am listening is gone. That ego which comes and tells that, oh, I'm listening to a nice music, that it's not present. Because it is not present, I don't realize the time factor. It's missing. So that's called Brahmaloka. Okay, it is attaining the Brahmaloka, attaining peace. The mind is attaining peace. The time is disappeared. But if there was gnana at that point of time, then that becomes realization. Because there is no gnana, there is only a peace, and that is limited. It is temporary, and that peace dies down after the music concert is over. But if there is gnana, if there is a shift in attitude that everything is Bhagwan, and that, of course, the ego doesn't come and claim that I'm listening. But if there is gnana that Brahman, I am watching, I am observing, I am the Sakshi for listening, then with that gnana, the realization happens. Then in that realization, bliss is attained, which is never ending, which will never die down. It's never temporary. It's no more temporary. When the bliss is attained, it's no more temporary. It is permanent. So this ego is like a broker who also takes money from the lender and takes money from the buyer, and doesn't really have only tries to connect these two and claims that, oh, I made this happen, I made this work. Ego doesn't exist at all. It only comes in the end and tells that, oh, I listened. So after the music concert is over, I text in the Facebook or Instagram, tell that, oh, I was in this concert. So that is the ego coming and claiming. I had forgotten when I was sitting in the musical concert, The 4 hours went like 4 minutes because the ego was absent. After it is over, I listen to such a wonderful music. Then I go and post it somewhere. Then the ego comes and claims, oh, what a such a wonderful music that I was part of. I'm being thankful only. I'm being happy only. Even if I'm happy, I'm claiming it. That claiming itself becomes the ego. So the whole journey is basically, the spiritual journey is basically the observed becomes the observer. I become the Sakshi. I don't become part of Maya. Instead, I remain the Sakshi and I start watching the Maya. I watch the world happening in front of me. I watch the experiences happening in front of me. I watch the things being temporary in front of me. I remain the Sakshi, the observed. Instead of me getting involved, being part of the game, I stay back, I step back, I create a little distance, and I remain as a Sakshi. And I observe the changing nature of the world. Whether it is good, I don't get carried away. Whether it is bad, I don't succumb to the disturbances. So I remain Sakshi. Whether it is good, I'm a Sakshi. If it is bad, I'm still a Sakshi. I am okay with all kinds of situation. If I step back and I remain as a Sakshi, then the journey from the observed, becoming an observer itself is the spiritual journey. I remain the Sakshi. When I say journey, there is no journey. It's only a shift in attitude that is needed. So next is, I will share screen. So okay. So over here, now there is Jivatma and there is, we also spoke about two, right? Three. One is Jivatma, the other one is Gnani or Siddha Purusha. The third one is Avatara. The Gnani, how we saw the difference, right? So the Avatara is Bhagwan himself taking birth. This is because of the all the dharmic activities of so many people, rishis and other dharmic activities by yajna and tapas, because of the people. Whereas Gnani or Siddha Purusha will be born as a normal person, but because of either it could be their past karma, past good karma, they could have been a karma yogi in their past, or they could be doing lots of karma yoga or selfless action in this life. Because of that, a person realizes uh, Jivan Mukti takes Jivan Mukti happens. So such a person is called Gnani. So how an Agnani becomes a Gnani? So the Gnani has realized Paramatma. Gnani has become one with Paramatma. There is no doubt in this. Gnani has realized Paramatma. So Gnani is as equal as Bhagwan is. So how will the Agnani, what is this journey from Agnani to Gnani? Is dropping the ego. What? Dropping the ego means what? Dropping what? Dropping the shadow. Am I able to drop the shadow? No, it's not possible. It's only realizing that ego never existed. Ego is only the mistaken identity that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. No, you are not the body. No, you are not the mind. No, you are not the intellect. So over here, Krishna says, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. So over here, what he says is, all the three modes of material nature, okay, all the work that is material nature, or rajoguna, tamoguna, and satvaguna, all the three nature of So there are three nature of gunas. One is sattva guna, the other is rajas guna, the other is tamo guna. So all this in the society that's created by me. Okay. And none of these, although I have created, I am the non-doer. I'm only observing. With the form, due to the form, I have created that. But I have never involved in it. I still remain as a Sakshi. I still remain Paramatma. I have not done anything. I'm the non-doer. So if you observe my nature, you will also attain my nature. Because Atma is Paramatma, Atma is, you are able to realize that you are Paramatma. With that, the Agnani can also become Agnani if a person observes Bhagwan's nature, Bhagwan's works, Bhagwan's how Bhagwan conducts his life as well. And then, this is one is inaction in action. What Krishna says is, I am in action. I am doing inaction. I am only observing. Even if any action is happening or no action is happening, anything, whether there is any action happening, whether there is no action happening, I am still observing. I am a Sakshi. So this is the inaction in action part. The other one, action in inaction. Okay, now there are two things. If you get confused, please let me know. I will explain. So what the thing is, the second one is action in inaction, which Krishna says. In that, he says, say if a person is sleeping, a person can say, I am sleeping all day, I am lazy, I am doing nothing. No, it's impossible that there can be no action. Your body is functioning. Even when you're sleeping, your heart is beating, your kidneys are functioning, your digestive system is functioning. Everything is functioning. Everything in the world is functioning. Everything is going on. So that is the action, even when there is inaction. And Bhagwan is aware of this. There is action happening all the time. There is no time when there is no action happening. And if a person is aware of this, then such a person is able to realize, and such a person is able to realize Bhagwan. Such a person is Gnani. So it is one is inaction in action, the other one is action in inaction. Okay. So next one is, okay. So this we already discussed, that the painting over here, the example given is painting. I took the example of musical concert. Even in the case of painting, say if you are painting, and there is a painting, the picture that is being painted, and the painting action that is happening. All three, while you're doing it, it becomes one. When all three becomes one, it is Advaita. You don't realize when the time passes. After 3 or 4 hours, you realize that time has gone away and your painting is also there. You didn't realize that how long did you paint, how all that. Because the ego was absent at that time. Only after in the end, the ego comes and tells it, I painted this. That is the ego. So over here is only the example of painting. So, this is over here. Krishna says, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manyate. So, but I will just read it out. But as we progress on this path, we begin to realize that all actions happen through Maya, also known as Prakriti or nature. Even actions like the surgeon conducting a surgery happen through Maya Shakti only. When we closely inspect, we realize that I, the eternal essence, is just the witness, is the observer, is the Sakshi, witness or observer or the Sakshi. And I, which is I, is the Sakshi. Okay, when the capital U, I is used, when I say it is the Sakshi, the Brahman, that is you, that is the actual you. The problem here is I'm confusing myself with the body, mind, and intellect, and I say I am Pallavi. I am a girl. I I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm an employee, like that. So I get confused. The mistaken identity is not me. Okay, I am Brahman. When the capital I is written here, that is the Parabrahman, Sakshi. The I does not do anything. The Parabrahman, the Sakshi, doesn't do anything, is never attached to anything. Okay, is never crying, nothing will happen. I just remains as it is. This is agency-less action. Our sense of doership or the I-ness begins to diminish as well. The more and more we do Shravana and Manana and Nididhyasa, it diminishes. The wise man or the Gnani. So we spoke about three different people. One is the Jivatma, the regular normal human beings. The other is the Gnani or the Siddha Purusha. Third is the Avatara. Gnani is as good as an Avatara. Okay. The difference between Gnani and Avatara is born, God pulled down to earth. Gnani has evolved to be a Gnani, was born as normal person. And due to the past karma, due to so much of selfless action, Gnani has realized Brahman. Gnani is Ishvara Swarupa, we can say. Huh. So I am not doing anything. Basically, that is when I say I, the little I, the small I, body, mind, and intellect. In fact, the wise man never sees anything. Sorry. So this was the action then inaction thing. And whenever Bhagwan takes birth, it is only for the universal reason. It's not never for a individual selfishness. It's always for the universe. So the fourth part of the fourth chapter, it means glory and the means of knowledge. Okay. So in this part, Krishna talks about yagna. Basically, there are always yagna that is happening in the world. Everybody, everything in the universe is only doing yagna. Tree is giving, sky is giving, everybody is giving. Only human beings are the organisms which stops yagna from happening, is capable of stopping yagna from happening. So we should not consciously do that. We should consciously support the creation process. We should not stop yagna from happening. We are basically in that case, you'll be incurring karma. So what we should give and grow. People know, give so that you get. It's not give and get. It's give and grow. You give and you will grow. The more yagna is given. Yagna means offering. Yagna doesn't mean, we spoke about this in the Karma Yoga as well. Krishna had told about this. So even in Gnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, he talks more about yagna. What he says is, yagna means not only homa or the havan that people do, no, the yagna, the ghee, they put so many items in it, in the fire, sacrificial fire. It's not only that, that is also one type of yagna. See, now Vedas have many things called yagna. Say one thing, say somebody wants a child. They don't have child for a very long time. Some priests come and tell that, okay, you go and do this havan, do this homa, and you will get a child. So there is some prescribed shlokas and mantras in the Vedas that is told. And you tell all that, do all that kind of havan, the person will get child. Also, in a society, if they're not getting rain from many years, then they go and do yajna, havan, certain kind of havan, certain kind of mantras. If they do that havan, they will get rain. So all this is prescribed in Vedas, and this will happen as well. All the devas will be happy, and they will give rain, or they will give child, or whatever is asked for, they will give. But there are other kinds of yagnas as well. Rishi yagna, like the one that we are doing now, this is called a Rishi yagna. This is also called as Gnana yagna, where we are listening to the scriptures written by Vedavyasa Maharishi. Like Bhagavad Gita was written by Vyasa Maharishi. So this is called Rishi Yagna. Okay, and we are spreading the knowledge as well. If I just listen, is it called yagna? Yes, it's listening is called Shrota Yagna. Shrota means to listen. Shrota Yagna means to listen. Listen. Even by listening, I am doing yagna. There are many other types of yagna. And yagna means offering. There is one more thing called tapas that is associated with this. What is tapas? To create self-discipline within myself. To make the yagna to happen, there should be a self-discipline within myself. Like I should make sure, okay, every Sunday at 10:30, I should free myself to so that I attend this class. That's a self-discipline. I can't be sleeping until 11 o'clock and then tell that, oh, this class has started now, I cannot go to the class. There should be self-discipline that I should create within myself. So I can participate in the yagna, I can help in the creative process. Say, for example, some people appear for the competitive exams. The easiest example that we can take. Say, we have IITs in our in India, right? So preparing for IIT is considered so difficult. I have heard, you all might have heard, right? So I've seen children, practicing all the problems and learning for a few years to appear the JEE exam. So what they do now, one child, he wants to appear for the IIT JEE exam. So for that, he is firm in his mind that he wants to clear the exam and he wants to see himself in that university after a few years. So he is preparing for the exam. While he is preparing for the exam, maybe there are some of his friends who are not interested in entering IIT, so they might not be preferring or preparing themselves to for those kind of exams. But they are okay. They have plenty of time left, so they want to go to a movie, and they call this boy. Okay, we are all going out on a party and we are going on a movie, lunch, and all that. Do you want to join us? What will this boy do? Now he is determined that I want to reach IIT. For that, I need to study. For that, I need to create a self-discipline within myself that I don't get distracted with too many things. Okay, I keep my focus on learning. Certain things I play and I do, I keep myself recreated as well so that my mind is calm and not stressed out. But it doesn't mean that I get distracted with too many things. So he creates a self discipline within himself, his routine, so that his focus is only on the IIT exam, right? In the same way, even in the spiritual journey, one should be focused on realizing Brahman. Why? We will see now. Like earlier, we spoke about the Shat Sampatti, right? Samadama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, and Samadhana. So all these are qualities a spiritual seeker should have attained or should aim to attain. Okay, see, for example, okay, we'll talk about the quality as well later. Krishna talks about it. So even to say this IIT example itself, if we take, even to get into IIT, a person should have certain qualities. One can't just appear in the exam, cannot get a pass mark. One should have created a self-discipline within oneself, study every day, practice every day, don't get distracted, don't get stressed as well, keep yourself calm, and then go and be ready for the exam. In the same way, even in the spiritual world, one needs to say, even to get married, for example, this everybody would know. A boy will expect, okay, the bride whom I want to marry, if she is like this or not, or the girl who wants to get married will also be having certain kind of, okay, the groom should have these kind of qualities or something like that, right? So whatever someone wants to do in life, there are certain things called qualifications who would want to be able to travel in that direction. So even in the spirituality, one cannot know for little things there are qualifications. Now to attain Brahma Gnana, will there not be any qualification? There must be qualifications. Someone cannot just get Brahma Gnana just like that. Someone cannot realize God. The God realization will not happen for just anyone, right? So one should be qualified enough to realize Brahman. So even to be qualified enough to be able to realize Brahman, one should get there. Even to get there, there are certain qualities that a person should have inbuilt within, not inbuilt, um, should have built over the time. Okay. So all these qualities, we'll be talking about that in the next chapter. But even to get to that, one should follow a self-discipline, is what Krishna is talking about here. So that is called tapas. So all that is called tapas. So if for last 2 hours, from 10:30 to 12:30, you could have been partying yourself, or you could have go today. It's very sunny and nice day today. You could have gone out and enjoyed the sun. Maybe you could have gone to a park, or you could have gone to a gym, or you could have hung out with your family, or you could have gone to a cinema or anything, anywhere else. But you did not do that. You chose to be in this session. Why? Because there is a certain amount of self-discipline that is being created within yourself. I'm not talking just about this session. I'm talking in general. I just took this as an example. In the same way, maybe you are doing certain things in your life with which you are trying to create self-discipline within yourself for yourself to evolve in the spiritual path. So that is important. That is called tapas. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that tapas is required for one to progress in spiritual life. Okay, and that is yagna. So even in the tapas, like how we saw in the yagna, there were 5 types of yagna: Rishi yagna, Deva yagna, Bhuta yagna, Pitru yagna, and Manushya yagna. In the same way, there are tapas in the tapas as well. There are 2 types of tapas. One is bahya tapas. That is the external tapas. The other one is antar tapas. So what is bahya tapas? What will bahya tapas do is, externally I keep myself self-disciplined. I take shower every day. I brush my teeth every day. See, what will happen if I don't brush my teeth? Nothing will happen. But what will happen if I brush my teeth? Nothing will happen. Okay. But if I don't brush my teeth, it will smell. People will not be able to stay along with me, right? So there are certain tapas, say external tapas, for example, I need to do certain things in right way for it to be in order in the external world. Whereas antar tapas, if I if I do nothing, no change will I be able to see externally. But if I don't do, uh, I would be disturbing my spiritual evolution. By doing external tapas, I will be able to reduce my vasanas. Vasanas are the impressions, some compulsive nature of unconscious and compulsive nature of certain reactions that I could be doing. I will get that down. I will bring that down. With that, I will be supporting my antar tapas. For my inner tapas, I will be able to support that by bringing certain self-discipline in my external life. By doing this, what will happen? So there is success in the external world, which is called Shri. There is a success in the internal, within myself, and that is called Vijaya. Okay. Basically, it is purifying your own inner self. How I can do that? I can do in many, many ways. So, see, for example, Krishna gives many examples in this chapter here about external tapas like Vishaya Bhoga tapas, yagna, or Dravya yagna, or Dama yagna, and he's telling many things. Those are all for external things, Arjuna. The main thing that matters is internal. Internal yagna is what that matters. Antar yagna matters. So the antar tapas matters for the purification of your own self. How that can happen? Say, for example, I'm breathing. I'm breathing always. I've been breathing ever. Okay, even while I'm sleeping, I'm breathing unconsciously. Okay, involuntarily the breathing keeps happening. But if I change, if I observe that I sit in a place, I start breathing consciously, and I make that happen, and I um, breathe with the attitude that I'm doing pranahuti. It's called pranahuti. I am offering this prana to Brahman within myself. Okay. So to the Kutastha Chaitanya. Kutastha Chaitanya is here. I'm offering this prana. I breathe in, and the pranahuti is given to the Kutastha Chaitanya. I'm offering it to Brahman. The whole process becomes puja. The same breathing that I'm doing, it becomes puja. It becomes offering. It becomes a yagna. It's called pranahuti. The same breathing I have been breathing, instead of doing unconsciously, if I change the attitude and I give it as a pranahuti to Brahman, I give it as an offering, I do it as a yagna, and that becomes a tapas, a conscious act towards my spiritual evolution. And the inner purification also happens. Arjuna, Krishna says. And there is a famous shloka in this fourth chapter. One second. Over here, Krishna says, is it? ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म साधिनः. So accordingly, anything that is being offered is offered to Brahman. Who is consuming it? Consumer is also Brahman. Whatever the offering made, that is also Brahman. Whoever is consuming, that is also Brahman. And one who offers, me or you, even that is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Brahman himself is doing everything. So where is the doership here? There is no doership. So by this Krishna says, everything is Brahman. There is no one individual involved. Only the ego comes in the end and claims that I did it. I did the Havan, I did the tapas, I did the Ekadasi, I did the fasting, or I did the help, I did the charity, or so many, it could be any other activity. So basically, only Brahman is doing everything, Arjuna. You are, as an individual, are doing nothing. You are not doing anything. And Krishna, finally, he says, so after the tapas, so there is one more important thing here. So everybody does the yagna. Like I said, somebody wants child. Somebody don't have child for a very long time, and they go to a priest, and priest says, okay, you go and do this and this yagna for this and this Vedic mantra, and you will get a child. So they will go to this temple and do arrangements for the yagna and do the thing and get the child. What happened to Atma Gnana? Nothing happened because they are doing it unconsciously. So whatever we do, if we do in the with the Atma Gnana, with the Gnana in mind, with the fact in the mind that I am only observing for things to happen in the world. I am okay with all kinds of experiences. Whether it is good experience, I am okay with it. I don't get elated and jump in joy or something like that. I'm okay with it. I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy with it. If something goes wrong, I'm okay with that as well. I don't get depressed. Yoga ratova, bhoga ratova, sangha ratova. What it is means, yoga ratova means if I'm in the if I'm a yogi, I'm okay being a yogi. If I'm being in a solitude, I'm okay being in solitude. I'm okay with just with myself. Or bhoga ratova. If I'm in a party, if I'm going to a party, I'm happy in the party as well. I will dance in the party. I'm okay with the party as well. I don't get carried away with the party or just be in the party, all that. I'm okay being in the party as well. It's not that I'm going to run away from the party. No, I should. The person, the gnani, will never say, "Oh, I am a yogi. I will not go to parties. I will not enjoy." Gnani will never say that. Krishna will never say that I will not enjoy. Krishna will, if enjoyment needs to happen, he will go and enjoy. If um, he should be a yogi, he will be a yogi. If he should go and sit on top of the mountain, he will do that as well. Yes, Raviji.
Well, I had a question regarding this
Hmm.
non-doership.
Huh.
So, when you mentioned somebody goes to a temple or a place of worship and
Yes.
does an offering to God, so most of the times we have seen this, that while you're giving doing a puja or giving an offering, you identify it with yourself by giving your name, your
Hmm.
rashi, etc. So some kind of identification with you and your family and
Yes.
your
Yes.
ancestors. Uh,
Gotra and
yeah,
things. Yes.
Otra. So isn't this in contradiction with the non-doership or the
Huh.
karma?
Huh. Okay. So what we are talking here is, I got your question. So my answer is going to be in the far extreme. I'll get to your point. You will understand your point finally. Okay. I can't start from here. I'll start from the other way around. So what we are discussing here is Vedanta. So what Vedanta is, the whole of Vedas, no, it's very massive. Most of the texts of Vedas are also lost. Okay. Most of the whole of Vedas is massive. 90, 90 to 95% of the Vedas are only Vedas, are only mantras. I want child, I do this, I get child. I want money, I do this, I get money, I get land, I get rain. These are all famous things, right? All these are Vedas. I do puja to Surya Bhagwan, I do puja to Varuna Bhagwan, I do puja to all these devas, pleasing devas. All of it is pleasing devas to get something. I do something, I get something. I do something, I get something. All this is called Karma Kanda. 90 to 95% of Vedas are only Karma Kanda. So most of the people in the world, they are doing Karma Kanda only because they are in certain stage of evolution. And the last part of Veda is called Veda Anta, means the ending part of the Vedas. So 95% of the people are not worried about the Vedanta. Okay, because that's what the stage of evolution, that's how the world is. Okay, so the last 2 to 5% part, I think only 2%, it's not even 5%. Okay, very few, only that much part is called Vedanta. What Vedanta means is the end of Vedas. It's over. After this there is nothing else. After this, even if you search, there is nothing else. Okay, this is the end and this is everything. And that little part, 2 to 5%, that is called Gnana Kanda. It's not Karma Kanda anymore. Karma Kanda means you do something, you get something. And there is one more thing called Upasana Kanda as well. How in between stage where the people in the Karma Kanda, they slowly um, raise themselves and start thinking about Bhagwan and all that. And next is Gnana Kanda. Gnana Kanda is very tiny amount of part. Very few there are volumes of books. When compared to Vedas, this is very less. So in the Gnana Kanda, people only contemplate about Brahman. Not everybody is in a stage to able to do this. People are only engrossed in the world. People want material. People want things in the world. People want Lakshmi. People want fame, name. People want to establish themselves in the world. Only when a person establishes himself or herself in the world, goes, say, person is wishing to be a leader somewhere in a country and works very hard all his life, say from he was 20 years until 60, 65, 70 years, he worked so hard to become a leader. Finally at 70, 75, he becomes a leader, for example, leader of some country or somewhere. Okay, and he feels that yes, I have done that. Only after achieving that, he will know that he's going to lose it as well. After some time, he's going to lose the leadership, name, fame, everything will be gone. Okay. People are not going to praise him anymore after a certain period of time. Only after losing it, he will realize that for 40, 50 years he worked and that he lost within 5 years or 10 years. Okay. Only when a person does all that work, gets the fame, gets the name, and then lose it, he will be able to realize that the temporary nature of name and fame, and that will sink within him deep. Then he will be able to know that the world is temporary. For someone to come to a Gnanakanda, for someone to learn Vedanta, even for someone to for the evolution to happen, to come to a session where we are talking about Vedanta, the Gnana, Atma Gnana, it's not easy. We all have done our previous work. We have realized the temporary nature of the world. You and me, we have done the work and we know that the world is temporary. Only with that maturity, a person will be able to understand Vedanta. You bring anyone else and make them sit in Vedanta. It's not possible for a person to understand Vedanta. The mind will again keep thinking about money, sex, power, position, name, fame, all that. Because the inner maturity has not attained. So even for a person to sit in a Vedantic class, the inner maturity should be attained. It's not easy for everyone to understand or grasp the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's what I told. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita, there are several layers of explanation given for Bhagavad Gita. You can just look into any other YouTube channel or anywhere else. The same knowledge need not be available in those other channels. So there are certain people, certain level of knowledge is given. This is the deepest knowledge that we are getting. This knowledge is of about Vedanta. It's the Anda. It's the final. After this, there is nothing more to know, gain, or nothing. This is the final. Okay. So for someone who is doing against, no, it is not contradictory. For them, that is what is prescribed. See, even for to tell a person that even to tell a person that if I just go and tell a person, listen, don't go behind name or fame or power, it is a temporary. What the person will come and tell me if the person has not experienced that? No, 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 Pallavi, you are wrong. Name will give me happiness. Fame will give me happiness. Power will give me happiness. That's what the person will tell me. If I go and tell that, hey, don't go behind all that, that is temporary. Only Bhagwan is permanent. It's impossible for an immature mind to understand that that is temporary. That person should go and experience name, fame, power, money, everything in the world to know that it is temporary. So even to experience that, our ancestors has given route. Don't worry at all. Go and do karma kanda. That is where the people start. So even in our this chapter, that is what we started. Once again, we will just quickly do. I know that you all listened to me, but we will do this again so we understand this now in a little bit deeper way. 1 second. This is the right context which Raviji has brought. So that's what a person is doing. First, the person goes through a karmi. Karmi is very selfish. Karmi is not possible. He is not possible to do any selfless action. He wants everything himself or herself. I am the doer. I want to enjoy the world. I want to eat. I want to enjoy the world, everything. Okay. And from karmi, the person becomes dharmi. He slowly starts moving, is able to donate, is able to do good activities in the world, is able to consider the feelings of other people in the world. From dharmi, but there is selfishness here as well. Although the person is doing uh, good for the world, there is selfishness involved in a dharmi. From dharmi, the person becomes karma yogi. Karma yogi means the person has improved a lot. Now the person is able to do all the selfless actions. From the self, but the doership is still present. I am the doer is still present. Okay. From the karma yogi, the person will be able to become gnani. And that when the gnana, how the gnani happen, sorry, how the karma yogi becomes gnani, it's only by Atma Gnana. It's only by Vedanta. It's impossible without Vedanta, or Vedanta, when I say don't go by the word as such, it's a Gnana basically, Atma Gnana. Okay. It's only through Atma Gnana a person will be able to realize Brahman or become a Gnani, and that is only possible through a Guru. It is not possible by any just Acharya or any other teacher. It's not Brahma Gnana can just not be given to masses. Say, for example, somebody, say, if I wanted to teach yoga, for example, not me, anybody, somebody wanted to teach yoga, they can teach for thousands of people. I will put a poster, flyer telling yoga, yoga classes running on Sundays, hundreds of people will join the session. It's very easy. I will just put a flyer saying I will teach pranayama. All of you come. Everybody will come. Okay, because people want to do something. I want to do something. People have this thing in their mind. If I do something, I will get something. If I do pranayama, I'll get something. If I do yoga, I will get something. If I do hatha yoga, I'll get something. If I do kriya yoga, something will happen to me. So they're all want to experiencing something. They're all only thinking about experiences. This in Brahmajnana, there is no experience. Just drop all the experiences. That is Brahman. Drop all the experiences, good, bad, everything. Drop all the experiences, remain as a Sakshi, and that is Brahman. That is what you are. From the observed, you become the observer. You shift the attitude and start becoming the observer. You are the Sakshi, you are the Brahman. And this Brahmagnana cannot be given to the masses. It's impossible. Somebody who teaches yoga can teach for hundreds and thousands of people. Somebody who teaches something else will be able to give it for the masses. Brahmagnana, Atmagnana cannot be given for the masses. It can be given for a limited set of people because not everybody is qualified even to contain even the vessel to contain the Brahmagnana should be stable enough, should be capable enough to receive Atmagnana. So that's what Krishna says in the earlier chapter. Bahunam janmanamante gnanavanman prapadyate. So after many lifetimes, only Arjuna, you will be able to, anybody who is receiving Atmagnana will be able to come to even a place to get the Atmagnana. So does this help? Does this answer help, Raviji?
I could summarize what I understood, so you can tell me if my understanding is.
Yes, please, yeah.
So yeah, so I'll take my own example. So
Okay.
I can say that I have received Brahmagnana. I also practice the non-doership from time to time, but because I'm also living in the materialistic world and I'm living this life, so I will also have wishes and desires, and for those wishes, I'm still doing some part of karma yoga and some part of jnana yoga. So it's
Okay. So for those wishes and desires, that needs inner purification. For the inner purification to happen, as you said, you should do karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Karma yoga includes everything. Bhakti yoga, hatha yoga, kriya yoga, pranayama, everything, ashtanga yoga, you name anything. Everything is put in karma yoga only. Everything is part of karma yoga. Doing something is karma yoga. But whatever you do, every moment, with the help of the gnana, instead of unconsciously doing it, with the help of the gnana, if you stay as an observer, if you stay as a sakshi, and then do the karma yoga, then the realization can happen.
okay. So even if I am going to a temple and saying I am offering this puja to you, and when telling this is my gotra, this is my Rashi Nakshatra, this is my name, and I am doing this puja to you, even when I'm saying that, the mindset should be, okay, this is also a non-doership. So this is also from the observer.
So when the priest, say for same example I will take, you will go to a temple and the priest comes out, you want to do some archana, and he will ask you, what is your name? Or what is your nakshatra? What is your gotra?
Yeah.
And what you do, you say, my name is Ravi. Now, for the priest, for the transactional world, you will have to tell the name. So please tell the name. Please tell the gotra and whatever, nakshatra and all that. With knowing the fact that this is for the BMI.
Correct. Yeah.
For the BMI, because of the BMI, I am the spiritual being experiencing a human life. You are not a human being who is going to experience some spiritual life. No. You are a spiritual being having taken a human form in with this BMI. Now you cannot say I am Lokesh or someone. You are taken Ravi's BMI only.
Yeah.
So be identified with that BMI. You can't identify with yourself with some, say, a white person or some other race person, or even you can't identify with me or Lokesh or someone else, right? It's fantastic that you have projected your BMI. I
Yeah, yeah.
can't do things which you are capable of. See,
So,
you might
so
be capable of something great which I cannot do. So be happy with the BMI that you have projected. Fantastic. Many people are not able to do what you are able to do. But with the knowledge that you are a spiritual being who is experiencing that human life with the projected BMI of Ravi, and you are able to transact in the world with the knowledge that you are Brahman.
so at that moment, there is Advaita with Brahman, but there is Dvaita with the body, right? So there is a separation from the BMI, but there is no separation with the Brahman.
No, 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 no. There is no separation and all. Don't think about all that. Don't think about I am separated. I will stand big like a Sakshi. Don't think all that. Don't imagine all that. Don't imagine separation and all that. It's only shift in thinking.
Ma'am, can I add one little thing here?
Huh.
Sorry to interrupt. Or
No,
probably
no,
you
it's
were
okay.
thinking, I think.
No, it's okay.
Because in a similar lines, I also got few thoughts, and
Hmm.
Raviji is also thinking,
Hmm.
yeah, there is little bit of similarity there.
Okay.
So I was actually thinking, let me tell you from here. So from, from youngsters, from younger days, young
Hmm.
children,
Hmm.
we ask them to perform puja and all that.
Yes.
So that is the starting process actually.
Yes.
So they will also have a lot of questions why we are doing this and all that.
Correct.
But certain things, it is very difficult to explain it to them. So we will just allow it to them or tell them in such a way, just practice this for now. And eventually, they'll get to know certain things. Not
Hmm.
everything can be explained, as I said. So, but yeah, maybe there is a better person who will still be able to explain it to the younger generation. So with that practice, and then as you said, there are different layers, different stages. They'll come to a different, and then at some point, you know, they would realize ultimately Vedanta. In the end, they have to come to that point. So that is the thing. So, but there can be a situation wherein many people wouldn't come to that conclusion also. It is possible, very much possible. Now, coming to Raviji's point, it is a very similarity. Why I say that is, it is also one of the practices. But the way we have to be, because we've gone through many things, many concepts in this class, the way I see it is like at that point in time, Raviji, I'm not saying I'm absolutely right, but this is my understanding or this is way of thinking actually. At that point in time, so there is a thing wherein it could be true, wherein the priest is actually the messenger to the God type. That is how we actually should see, even though it might not be practically very much true, but he actually goes and registers. For example, if you see like your nakshatra gotra, he goes and performs that in front of the God and he offers the prayers. But as a person who's doing it, that is me, we'll have to see like there shouldn't be any kind of ego there. We should be just saying, okay, we should be thankful to the God, saying that that is what it is. So it is a kind of in terms of thinking in the time in terms of thinking, it actually comes there actually. So we shouldn't be having any kind of egoism there or pride in there. Actually, we are just being very much thankful to the God that for whatever we have been given, so for whatever we are experiencing. So that's one way of looking at it, I think. So that's what I'm thinking. Is that right, Raviji?
Yeah. It is correct only. Okay, so one
Hmm.
thing, one example that I can give is once what happened, Swami Vivekananda, so Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he had a few disciples, right? So Swami Vivekananda was given the Atmagnana that you are Brahman, none of this, everything is Maya, all that. Now, after this, once Swami Vivekananda was visiting other disciples' home, and the disciple was having a little idol, and he was doing the puja to the idol. And Swami Vivekananda went and scolded that disciple that what kind of thing you are doing. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa told that you are Brahman. Haven't you got Atmagnana? What is this? Why are you worshipping this idol? Come, throw away the idol. And he will go and throw away the idol. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he gets to know what Swami Vivekananda has done. And what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, comes and do to Vivekananda is, he comes and beats up Swami Vivekananda nicely. Okay, in those days, this beating and all was very common. He beats up Vivekananda nicely. And Vivekananda doesn't understand what is going on. He asks me, why are you beating me? So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says that, I taught Atmagnana to you. I did not teach Atmagnana to him. He is in a different stage of evolution. I have taught him idol worship. He doesn't understand Brahman. He suddenly doesn't understand anything. So I need to give him an idol. I need to tell him to focus on an image. I need to tell him to, uh, you know, there are certain, so this is what Ramakrishna Paramahansa wanted to tell Swami Vivekananda is, you are in a different stage of evolution. That person is in a different stage of evolution. For him, I have prescribed idol worship. For you, I have given Atmagnana. I have taught you meditation. So you do what I have been giving you. He will do whatever I have been giving. So a guru will be able to know where the Shishya stands. So accordingly, the guru will be able to prescribe what kind of process is needed for that kind of person. Generally, if everyone, we all should do, dhyana, dana, all these kind of things, all the meditation practices, all this will purify all the vasanas within ourselves. We'll get purified. The more and more we get purified, the gnana that we have been getting, that will be instilled within us. It will start staying with us for longer periods of time. Now what happens, when I am in the session, I am able to get the gnana, I am able to understand everything. Some people cannot even understand these things, but at least I'm in a position where I'm able to understand gnana. But when I go out in the world, I'm not able to apply the gnana. I'm not able to remain as a sakshi. Instead, I forget and I get convert into my old Pallavi, and I start myself as just my previous myself in the world. The gnana is still not staying with me all the time. The more and more I practice pranayama, the more and more I do karma yoga or dana, dhyana, and all that, dhyana yoga, everything, bhakti yoga. The more and more I do, the more and more purity will happen. The more and more the ego is purified. So Sri Krishna speaks about this later in this chapter itself, that the more and more ego gets purified, the agnani will realize gnana and will become gnani. So, yes, this kind of Vedas which you are talking about, yes, it is definitely needed for a certain level of mindset. Doesn't it help? Of course, it helps. If somebody asks for rain and prays to God, the rain happens. Okay, doesn't it work? Of course, it works. But is that all everything? No, we need to come out of it. If that is not the end of the world, that there is much more. So over here in the final shloka, so the next part is, we will move on to, the answer will be clear here. From the shloka 4.38 to 4.42, Krishna says qualification for gnana. So Raviji, I think I will just finish this. Your answer will be fully clear then. So 1 second. So all this we covered. Okay, this is all same thing. 4.3, 8 to 4.42. The qualifications of a gnani. What are the qualifications required to become a gnani? Okay, all this is required. Like for we saw for even to reach IIT, we need qualification. In the same way, even to become a gnani, to receive gnana, for everything we need qualification. That is what we told. He'll discuss in detail about the Shat Sampatti, Samadhama Titiksha and all that. So To get that, Bhagwan talks, I'll just read it out so it is easier, about the qualifications and disqualifications as well. Okay, very important. Disqualification with regard to self-knowledge. One who has faith in the Guru. Now, this doesn't see. I can't just keep talking and somebody just can't say, I don't trust in you, Pallavi, I don't believe in whatever you say, then nothing can enter in such a person's mind, right? So even to listen to these kind of talks, it's important to have faith in God and Guru and all that. Okay, it's not easy. In one who has faith in Shastra, Guru and Shastra, in these 4 shlokas, Krishna says, and one who has sense control, okay, and a sincere desire, the deep inner calling, I said, right? Sincere desire for knowledge will gain knowledge. This is the 38th shloka, meaning of the 38th shloka, and 39, and I think, yeah. On the other hand, one who is ignorant, faithless, and doubting is doomed. It's not doomed means it's not now. Forever, the person will not be able to get into the spiritual evolutionary cycle so easily. Okay, spirituality is like a forest. People are lost. Oh, I do this, I get happiness. So everybody in the world, every single 8 billion population are only doing things so they are happy, are only and only doing certain things so they become happy. Some people are doing little for temporary, little 1 day happiness, 2 days happiness, or 10 days. Some little wiser person, they think of long-term happiness. They do it for 10 years so that happiness lasts for 10 years. Now, this is the final. This happiness should last forever. It should be a bliss. It should be peace all the time. That is the final. Okay. Otherwise, we will get lost in the spiritual world. It's not easy. It's not that, okay, I got, um, I try to get gnana, but I don't follow anything in my practical life, then I can be doomed as well. That's what Krishna means here. I try to get gnana, but in my practical life, if I don't do anything, I'll again go negative in the evolutionary cycle. Okay. He cannot enjoy anything here or hereafter. Hereafter doesn't mean tomorrow. It can be next birth as well. So it is important for me to keep up in the spiritual cycle. Okay, I'm able to get gnana. I do karma yoga as well and work towards me evolution. Therefore, Arjuna, eliminate all doubts regarding the validity of the spiritual pursuits. Don't keep any doubts within yourself. Even if I'm not able to answer, please ask. I will go and ask and come back and give it to you. And resort to karma yoga. Don't stop at karma yoga. What Krishna means to tell here is, don't stop yourself with karma yoga. You need to come out of it as well. Keep doing karma yoga so much so that you are purified and you transcend the mind. So if somebody goes to a teacher or an acharya who is not a brahmanishta, but is able to teach the things from the shastras and the scriptures, one will be able to get knowledge, but will not be able to transcend the mind. It's not possible. Because the person, like we spoke about the Japan example, the person himself has not visited Japan. He can only talk about Japan. He doesn't know what happens in Japan. He has no clue. Whereas the person who is a Brahmanishta and also a Stotriya will be able to give you the knowledge as well, help you transcend the mind. Okay. So, eliminate all the doubts regarding the validity of the spiritual truths, advises Krishna. After this, this is it. There are only 44 shlokas. We covered everything. So, it's the purity of the Karma Yoga. What Karma Yoga does? Purity. What Gnana Yoga does? Clarity. So, this is what concludes the 4th chapter. So, in the 5th chapter, we will learn more about sadhana chatushtaya, shat sampatti and all that. Krishna talks about the qualifications, how to get there. We saw that there are qualifications needed for the spiritual sadhana. What are the qualifications? We will see more in the next chapter. If there is any, Raviji, please tell me if your doubt is cleared, or if you have more doubts, please speak about it.
Well, it is clear to a great extent. So I
Hmm.
will also try to
Analyze it.
and analyze this. Yeah.
Hmm.
Nididhyasa, right? What do you say
Yes,
that?
Nididhyasa.
Nididhyasa. So I will try to do that. And if I have more doubts on this, I'll again contact you.
Definitely, sure. Okay. Maybe we can take up Nididhyasa in our next session. Today it is way too much of time, isn't it? It's lengthy. It's dragged too much.
Yeah, it was so interesting that we didn't know that so much time has passed.
Okay. Yeah, even I didn't realize this time. Okay. I think we will conclude this here. Any other doubts, Bhuwanaji, Lokeshji?
One question.
Huh.
1 minute.
Hmm.
So, it's a, yeah. So basically, you give one example of what was that? Yagna, performing
Huh.
yagna. So performing yagna, it can be in various forms, I think, right?
Yes.
So it didn't have to be in the form of offering
Homa.
prayers or homa.
No. It can be in
It can be
many other forms. Yes.
because there are
Okay.
many
Yeah, I will
changes
just
in.
give you one simple example.
Yeah.
Even feeding the birds in your back garden becomes a yagna.
Okay.
Okay? Hmm.
Okay. So that answers my question actually, because
Okay.
there are more different ways of achieving anything.
Yes.
In whatever it is,
Yes.
for to achieve something, we perform some yagna.
Yes.
But there are various forms. So whatever form it is taken, and when it is achieved, then we have performed yagna in that
Only
case.
the feeling is important.
Okay.
Okay? Somebody is giving lots of charity to someone. Say somebody is doing homa itself. Let's take that. Somebody is doing homa with liters of ghee.
Yeah.
In the mind, he is scolding someone, his enemy. Then what's the point in yagna? It's only the
But what if with that thing also he still achieves it? Will they still be able to achieve the end goal with the yagna?
that kind of homa that people are doing. It is for the material benefits.
Yeah.
Generally, okay, it's for material
Okay.
benefits. Maybe little material benefit they might get to the extent that they are concentrating to receive that.
Yeah. Okay, got it, Pallaviji. Yeah.
But again, that material benefit for him it is very big. Some little one house, for example, for him it could be so big, but it's actually temporary. Tomorrow the house could be burned down. You never know. It's
And in
temporary.
some cases, even after performing yagna, you still don't achieve it. There can be situations like that also, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes. The invoking of God, the invoking that the asking the person is doing. This is what I told beggar consciousness. I don't know if you were in the session then. This is called beggar consciousness. Oh God, I don't know. I don't have anything. Please give me. The more you say, I don't know. If your I don't know, I don't have part is more. I don't have anything. Give me money. Instead of telling give me money, if you say I don't have anything, that will only be perpetuated. That will only be increased. I don't have anything will become more.
Okay.
It's the inner deep feeling is what the consciousness will be able to reciprocate.
But this is okay, no?
Only the inner feeling will be the consciousness cannot hear words. The words doesn't make sense for consciousness. Inner feeling makes sense. Words makes only sense for you and me. See, the Sanskrit words, do you understand while you pour ghee, what mantras you are telling? Do you understand Sanskrit?
No, I don't.
No, but you are doing, telling all the mantras while you are pouring the ghee. How will the God understand? It's your inner feeling with which you pour. Thank you, God, for everything. Please give me some more money. Thank you, God, for pouring. Please give me a child. Please give some rain. Or please give something else. Then it will be answered. It doesn't go by words. It goes by deep inner feeling. Feeling is important.
Yeah, got it, Pallaviji.
Okay. I think let's conclude the class. I'll just do concluding prayers. Kayena vacha manasendriyerva बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् Slowly open your eyes. Thank you everyone for the session.
Thank you, Pallavi ji.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari.